Eden.
Easy, easy.
Where am I?
San Sebastian prison. And the pain you are feeling in your ribs are the 17 stitches I had to put in.
A knife, son.
4 inches higher and you would have been dead. You haven't made many friends since you have been here, Mr. Castillo. And if you intend to survive side by side with the rest of the inmates, I would advise...
No, you don't understand. I'm not a prisoner. I'm a cop. I don't belong here. I'm a detective from California. I was working undercover, and they're keeping me here illegally.
Delirium is a side effect that often comes with the sedative I gave you.
No, listen to me. Oh God. Oh, listen to me, please.
Keep still.
Okay. My wife is on Las Sirenas. She's alone, and I think she's in danger.
Raphael, would you do me a favor? Would you see if we are close enough yet to relay a call to Santa Barbara? Ask the captain. I don't want to pester him any more than I have, okay? All right. Thank you. Honey, I'm sure Cruz is fine.
So why didn't he come back to Serenas?
Because of the storm. I'm sure he's worried about you. I'm worried about you. You okay?
I'm fine. I'm still aching.
You'll be even better when you see Cruz. You sure that all he stopped off at was that prison on San Sebastian? See where Barr was? Well, we'll start then. But in the meantime, don't you think you should put this back on your finger?
Thank you, Daddy. I didn't think I'd ever see this again.
I never thought I'd ever see you not wear it. Honey, maybe it's time you told me about your relationship with Robert Barr. Oh, honey. I always knew more about you than you thought I did, believe me. The chances you took, your adventures with men. The night you didn't come home. Bruce Kelly and Mason, I would have raised hell. I always thought you had a little more in the way of judgment. Maybe I knew that arguing with you wouldn't do a bit of good, so I didn't do it. Anyway, I could let on I knew without seeming to approve. And that far I wasn't willing to go. So I played ignorant. It's a skill that's come in handy these past few weeks. Sweetheart, I know you think you're keeping something earth-shattering from me, but I really doubt it.
I do too. But I think you're keeping something from me, Daddy.
Barr? No, I'm not. I knew him peripherally. He tried to make inroads against the company before. Remember when I was sick 4 years ago for so long?
Yeah.
He didn't have the financial muscle to do it then, but he tried. But I swear, I didn't know he was the man that you knew on Serenas 10 years ago.
You knew there was someone.
Honey, there was always someone.
Someone I wanted to marry? Apparently, it was important enough for you to remember all these years. And you never mentioned it again.
Neither did you.
Of course I didn't. I mean, Daddy, remember? I mean, you knew the accident in Switzerland wiped away all memory I had of what happened that summer.
I didn't know any such thing, darling, because I didn't want to talk about it. None of us wanted to talk about it. Channing died that year. You went away to Europe that year so angry at me, I thought I lost my best friend.
Yeah, and one had nothing to do with the other, Daddy. Why did I hate you so much? Why was it so important that you just shipped me off to Europe? You always told me the real reason was because of Channing's death. But that wasn't it. You wanted to keep me from coming here. You were trying to desperately to keep me away from somebody I loved, weren't you?
You didn't love him.
Don't tell me what it was or what it wasn't. I may have been young, but I wasn't stupid enough to not recognize it wasn't love. I owe it to myself to admit that. Now I need to know the rest of it. How did it end?
And it just ended. We went home.
When? I know we argued. That must have been the day you flew out here.
You told me off. Yes, that's exactly what happened.
Well, then what? I remember you saying that you were going to turn the yacht around and go back, but you didn't, did you?
I couldn't do it that minute. I had just flown in. We just anchored the boat. There were people waiting to see us. We had social obligations. I couldn't do it then.
Was it the next day, the day after?
Something like that. I don't recall.
Well, there has to be more.
Why? How would you know?
I just do.
What about now?
CC,
Yes.
you finally got through. Kelly's on the line.
Kelly. Kelly!
Daddy, I can barely hear you. She is? Oh, that's wonderful. What about Cruz?
Cruz we haven't seen yet. We're on our way to him now, but he wasn't even on St. Annes when the storm hit, so we assume he's fine and there's nothing to worry about.
Oh, God, that's good news. Daddy, I've got some good news of my own. Mason called. Hang on a second. Excuse me, Rick.
Sure. Chip and I'll be out on the deck.
Sorry, Daddy, somebody was here. Yeah, he called Julia, and he mentioned something about a big meeting in Las Vegas he's trying to get to. Now, if he doesn't, he'd like us to send someone just in case.
Wait a minute, darling. What meeting? Didn't Mason say what it was about? Oh, damn it. It's too late now. What? Your mother and Julia? They had no business. I'll be there as soon as possible. Goodbye.
Daddy, did I hear you right? Did you hear from Mason?
The gist of it is that he seems to have found a reason for the takeover.
But that's good. That's why he left.
Oh, yes, but the information can only obtain by association with the underworld bigwigs that frequent Las Vegas. And guess who is there now? Julia and your mother.
It's great.
Sophia?
Mm-hmm.
Daddy, you have to go back.
No, you've got to go back. That's the truth. No, John, just a minute. We'll have the captain ready ashore, and they'll have a helicopter waiting for you.
No, not until we find Cruz.
What are you talking about? Ian and I. We'll take care of that. You've got Sophia to think about, and let's not forget Julia.
I'll talk to the captain.
I've seen your father in action. He'll take care of them.
Yeah, I know.
Well, then how about that smile of yours? Come on. We're going to be seeing Cruz very soon. You know it.
Castillo, I will not warn you again. You must lie still.
Never underestimate this man's determination, Dr. Chin.
Oh, I think you're the man we've been underestimating, Warden. It was one thing to keep me here illegally, and to let word be leaked that I'm a cop to a cell block full of people who hate cops.
I never did such a thing.
Yeah, well, you didn't put a stop to it, did you?
Sir, if this man is a police officer,
With an outstanding warrant for his arrest in Italy?
That warrant was a fake. I told you that. At the time it was issued, I was working as an agent with the United States government in Italy. The murder charge was part of my cover.
The knife wound seems to have gotten to your head, Mr. Castillo. Now you want me to believe that you're a secret agent?
Who brought you that warrant?
A man.
Did you check his credentials?
Of course.
Closely?
Well,
of course not! Because if you would have, you'd realize they don't hold up. He's a crook. He's a two-bit hustler trying to make the big time. If you had checked him, or checked the warrant, or checked with the consulate...
We're waiting for verification and extradition. Now, until it comes, this conversation is worthless. Have a pleasant rest, Mr. Castillo. Most of the prisoners consider it an honor to be tended by Dr. Chin. Let me know if he gives you any trouble.
yes, sir.
Do you believe me?
I believe that you're not the kind of man who would lie easily.
I am not lying. My wife is in danger. I came here to try to find out about a prisoner. I was undercover. She expected me back before nightfall. That was several days ago. There's been a storm.
I'll check with the island authority for their list of injured and dead.
Okay.
Got another one for you, Doctor.
Over there.
You're the one, you bastard. You're the one that started all this. You're dead, Castillo. You hear me, you bastard? You're not gonna get out of this dope alive.
I can have the chopper wait, you know.
No, Daddy, no. A man on the dock said the prison's a half an hour from here. You go in, you make sure Mama and Julie are okay.
You let me know as soon as you find them, and you come straight home. And you also let me handle Barr from now on, okay? There's no need to keep me in the dark anymore, agreed?
Easy.
It works both ways, Daddy.
Pilot's ready to go.
Love you. Take care of her, huh?
Of course I will. I found a place to rent a car. And I found the map.
Oh.
Vamos a ver. Here's the prison. Now, they were telling me that the storm lost most of its force before it hit San Sebastian, and so that the roads must be in pretty good condition. Of course, I don't know what pretty good condition means down here. You're not listening to a word I'm saying, are you? Are you afraid of something?
Just worried about Cruz.
Well, he'll understand.
Understand what?
Well, you know, about the wreck of the boat and being on the island with Robert Barr. Look, all that Cruz cares about is your safety and you. I think I'll go and see if the car is ready, all right?
Bobby, come to bed. Come to bed, Bobby. Come to bed.
Your wife wasn't on any list, injured or otherwise.
Thank God.
So you can lie back and rest now.
Yeah. But what about the ferry service? The ferry service from Las Sirenas to here. When did it start up again?
Except for the night of the storm, I don't think it ever shut down.
So there have been ferries.
2 a day.
Doctor, she would have been on one of them. If there's any way she could have made it, she'd be here.
I have to do my round. We'll talk about this when I come back.
Okay. Oh, God. Hey, Sly, wake up. Sly, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sly, it's Robert's your old pal, Robert Barisi. How's it been, man? How you been going?
Robert?
Yeah, Robert. How's it going?
Robert, the guy on the inside asking questions. He's a cop.
What'd you tell him?
Don't worry, man. I didn't tell him nothing. I didn't tell him nothing about Raul.
You didn't tell him nothing about Raul?
No.
Good. Raul who?
Raul Moondragon.
Hey, sit down, man. Sit down. We don't want to wake the other patients. Now do it.
If you are looking for your friend, he's been taken to town for surgery.
That's one way out of here.
He had 3 guards with him. You are less protected here than you would be over there. You were talking in your sleep again.
Was I?
mention your wife's name several times.
Yeah, well, she's on my mind.
You must be very much in love.
As much as you can be and still be breathing.
I know the feeling.
Are you married?
Husband is dead.
I'm sorry.
He died in a Cambodian jail, just like this one. Which brings about the next question. What is a woman, doctor like myself, doing in a prison like this?
Well, it brings the question up, but it doesn't really answer it.
First I started running. I was looking for the end of the world. I found it here. I started to work in town at the hospital. And whenever I went for a drive, I would always end up passing the stark walls of this hellhole. And I would imagine my husband in here, dying. A slow death, because there was no one to care. So I decided to care. You see, if there had been someone who cared about my husband, he would still be alive today.
Why was he in jail?
They never told me. It was a bad time for my country's history, and they told us very little, and we never asked questions. My husband was a free thinker. So I like to think that if there was a meaning to his death, that would be the reason. He just dared to speak out.
I'm sorry. Doctor, I don't know how to ask you this, but
I know. I will help you.
Please put your photograph away. I've seen enough of your husband. Mr. Castillo is a prisoner here now. What? There's an outstanding warrant for his arrest in Italy. I'm holding him.
But that's impossible.
You're talking about Italy. Until such time that the charges can be confirmed by the Italian authorities and extradition proceedings can be...
Excuse me, Mr. Warden. Do you know that he is a police officer?
That's what he says.
There's been a terrible mistake. I think I know who's responsible for this, Raphael.
That's what he also says.
Where's the nearest American consulate?
The consulate is helping me to find out if the warrant can be authenticated.
I want to see my husband. I assume he's allowed to have visitors, is he not?
I'm sorry. Visitors are not allowed in the infirmary.
My God, is he hurt? Is he sick?
What have you done to him?
I am not leaving here without seeing him. Do you understand that?
I'll see if the doctor will allow it.
There's only one checkpoint with here on the outside.
okay, one checkpoint. I appreciate this.
Honest men should not die in prison.
Are you gonna be okay?
I'll survive. I always thought one day someone would come along. Could you do me a favor?
You name it.
Never stop loving your wife. It's so good to see true love.
I promise.
Just wanted to know what I was missing.
Thank you.
This all of it, Doc?
Yes? Move quickly, it's contagious material.
Where's Castillo?
I've returned him to the general population.
What could have happened to him?
Well, maybe he has a little touch of fever. Could have some flu. Maybe he's got the quick step turistas. Eden, come on. It's not that serious, please.
I'll never forgive myself for this.
For what? You have nothing to do with it.
Raphael, I've seen the way you've looked at me ever since you found me on the island with Robert. And let no doubt be in your mind, there's only one man that I really care about. There's only one man I want to spend every day with until I die. And that's your son. Something's wrong.
You know, it's possible that the infirmary is across that building over there.
Shouldn't be taking so long. Excuse me, which way is the infirmary?
Thanks, pal. I don't want you walking around this prison like that. The warden said that he would be back.
Yeah, we're gonna stand around here politely waiting for him to come back, and they could be taking him out of here right now. Then how are we gonna find him?